Oh, howdy all, grab yourselves a beer. It is time for some more ExileCon information, and this might be my last video from the actual convention. Wait till I get back so that I've got proper recording set up for everything else. I wanted to give my first thoughts on the 4.0 / Path of Exile 2 demo footage that they've got, and also the demo gameplay. So I played through Act 1. Act 1 is playable with the exception of the Act boss, and I've gone a fair way into it, but not tried to push to the end. There's a bit of a time limit on how long you can stay playing it, and I wasn't really trying to play it with the mindset of a racer, so I got through 3 bosses. The first thing that strikes you is that it's tuned hard, and I think that's deliberate for the convention. They're trying to make the early acts of the game feel appealing and engaging to the most dedicated and most experienced players, and so as a result it's much harder than it will be when it goes live. You really notice this when you're fighting the bosses. They're unforgiving. I would say that the 3 bosses that I've killed, the Rust Emperor, I can't remember his exact name, but it's something like the Rust Emperor. He was a fight that was a real grind. I had to portal out twice to refill flasks, and this is a monster level 6 or so map, or monster level 6 zone. I took something like maybe 50 or 60 hits of my, what was I using? I was using Heavy Strike with Ruthless. And yeah, it took dozens of hits to kill the guy. And he had a couple of telegraphed attacks that were tricky to figure out. They weren't one-shots, but they were close to it. So first up, he has an attack where he attacks a small frontal cone in front of him. Not all that dissimilar to the Phoenix's sort of charge attack that he uses. That wasn't too bad. It hurt, but you could easily enough dodge it. The real monster is one where he charges up and then fires a Nova around him. This Nova is projectiles, so it's basically not all that different to Light Poacher's effect, if you're familiar with that item. And by God, does it hit hard, and it inflicts a bleed. And the bleed is faster than your life flasks can heal you, so it's absolutely fucking savage. In any case, this is probably not going to be the version that goes live. The version that goes live will be much more forgiving, but it was a lot of fun to get your ass kicked at low level for once. In terms of the other things that were noticeable in it, the new skill system just works. It's implemented flawlessly as far as I can see. The various skills haven't been changed. The passive tree hasn't been changed. So we're playing with a 3.8 passive tree. They did hint that there'll be some major overhauls to it, but they haven't happened yet. And they're not ready to preview. In terms of trash monsters, oh my God, do trash monsters feel different. They feel impactful in a way that blue monsters feel impactful when you get swarmed by them. The white monsters are like that. The blue monsters are meaner, and the rare monsters are genuinely quite scary. So the flow of the game was much slower paced. You weren't able to just blitz from pack to pack, ignoring everything. You had to stop. Again, this may just be the convention version. We will find out more when they tune it. But obviously, Act 1 will not be tuned with experienced power gamers in mind. In terms of other things at the convention, I'll have to do a video when I get back on the card game that's been happening here. It's really simple, but it's been really fun. I have killed the Guardian of the Chimera, the Guardian of the Hydra, and the Elder. There have been several Shaper kills, and of course Chris Wilson is the Shaper. And I have probably the most powerful shield in existence at the moment, Aegis Aurora. So I'm feeling confident that I might be able to get the Shaper down. But I'll have to do a bit of a video on that when I get back. It has been a lot of fun as a side diversion, and it's probably resulted in many people missing many of the sessions that have been on. And I've also managed to get my Toucan shirt signed by both Chris Wilson and Jonathan from GGG. Anyways, I'm going to leave it at that point. I'm really impressed with 4.0 so far. And so there's been a lot of surprises at the convention. Obviously, 4.0 being a somewhat of a half sequel to the game was unexpected, and adding an alternate campaign of 7 acts is really impressive. The first act already looks polished. The 3 bosses that I fought were really amazing, and the one that they showed off that's also finished from later in Act 1 than I got to, the Crowbell, because the game needs more Crowbell apparently, that was really amazing too. So yeah, the things at the convention have exceeded expectations, and my expectations were fairly high. And then there was the mobile thing which blew me away, despite me expecting it to be trash. So I'll leave it there. Any comments and questions, definitely fire away below. I'm a bit slow at answering them because I have patchy Wi-Fi at the moment, but I will be back in Australia on Tuesday. At that point, I should be able to post more.